Hey, and welcome to 3 Takeaways, our agency new business video series where we focus on one new business category and give you 3 takeaways to help improve your new business program. All right, we are in the throes of summer here in Cincinnati. We were going to film outside today, but it's really hot. I know, it's tough, but this is coming from someone raised in the South. It's hot out there. All right, let's jump in. I don't need to tell any of you watching that project work is the primary way you get business these days. Retainers, they're still out there, they still exist, but for small to mid-size agencies, your way in the door is through a project, typically. That's not bad. In fact, plenty of firms we talk to, they actually prefer that. I mean, I had one agency principal tell me he likes kind of the multiple projects throughout a given year, where they stay under the radar versus being the AOR and that big line item just waiting to be cut when budgets shrink. All right, but there are downsides to the project scenario, right? I mean, if you look to work with other agencies, for example, you're partnering with them, and it used to be they'd have more crumbs to parse out. Now they're keeping those to themselves. Similarly, on the client side, they're keeping more work than they used to, keeping that to themselves. Now, one new client we brought on talked to us about kids right out of college, or even younger, poaching work from agencies, charging far less because it's a one-person show. I mean, because they can. Those damn kids. All right, I joke. And I've talked to firms who are seemingly, like drowning in way too many smaller projects. Okay, and drowning is a bit much, but a situation like that, it creates an untenable hamster wheel where your team can get burned out, and they're working just as hard, if not harder, on the smaller projects as they would on a bigger project, where you make more money, by the way. All right, so, how do you get off that hamster wheel? With the understanding that project work is still the primary way through the door. Well, that is the subject of our 3 takeaways. All right, your first takeaway is this: tie your professionalism to your story. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I'm speaking specifically to my previous example, that getting undercut by that one-person show. What you have that she or he doesn't? Well, your firm knows how to work on brand. You know how to follow brand guidelines. Working with you is not a crapshoot. You're professional, you all hit deadlines, and you can be trusted. Now, you probably take those traits for granted about your firm, but they're important. And while you won't, put those in your elevator pitch, for example, like right up front, tie them into your story when you need to. Keep it in your back pocket. All right, your second takeaway. Take a hard look at your prospect size. Now, I'm speaking to revenue here, or bed counts, or assets under management. I mean, however you gauge your prospect size. If you're getting a lot of smaller projects, the first thing to do is consider raising that bar on that revenue goal. Going after more mid-tier companies, for example, if you're not. And that's not a cure-all. I mean, I had a meeting with a prospective agency not too long ago. They do 20 to 30 projects a year for a Fortune 500 company you would certainly know. And look, they're not complaining. But my point is, even the largest companies can have small projects. But looking to increase your prospect size is a solid consideration that you should make. Okay, your third, final takeaway: don't just throw up a cape slide in your first meeting. Okay, now I'm talking about that first meeting with a new prospect, and you'll see where I'm going here. Now, we see a lot of agencies go into that first meeting and quickly throw up their cape slide, kind of stay there and just rattle off each of those capabilities. You don't want to do this for many reasons, okay, but specific to this episode, when you do that, you sound like everybody else with similar services. And while you might still get that project, you're not notable. Okay, then you'll get pigeonholed and you get a bunch of smaller, similar projects, which in and of itself, not a horrible thing, but you might get no more projects. If instead you start with a conversation in that first meeting and you tie in a few stories around work you did that are engaging, that show how you solved the business challenge, then you become notable. And you have a better chance of more meaningful and sizable work. Well, I hope this is helpful. I mean, that's it for episode 26. If you're returning, thank you. Always appreciate you watching. And while you're here, give us a thumbs up. Do it now. And if you like the episode, and hit that subscribe button to make sure you never miss one of our videos. All right, thanks. We'll see you next time.